Okay, so I saw this yesterday. I'm curious to get people's opinion on this, and I'll pop this up with everybody. And again, shout out to Trevor Lane, who's always out there trying to make it happen, trying to bring up good topics and everything else. Let me present this with everybody. Let me show this to everybody here. Trevor Lane put this out yesterday. Okay, where does Luka, LeBron, and Reaves rank as a trio in the Western Conference? You know, it's funny. When I think of that trio, when I think of those three players, honestly, it's not something that I look at and I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to watch out for those three. They're good players. Luka's a phenomenal player. Austin Reaves is a really, really good player. LeBron, I don't need to tell you guys his resume and everything else. But when I saw Trev put this up, one of the first things that came to my mind is it's not about having three good players. It's about having three good players that fit. It's about having three good players that fit at the right time. Or I'm sorry, it's about having three good players that are all kind of maybe in the same maybe trajectory of their career is the right way to put it. I look at these three. We look at Luka, we look at LeBron, we look at Austin Reaves, and we start in the conversation of where do these three compare to other trios in the NBA. And to be honest with you, I'm not even here to try to rank them and say, well, I think they're the fifth best in the NBA when it comes to trio. That's not the point of this conversation. But he, listed out here, obviously the Thunder, Houston, Denver, Clippers. Clippers, you could put Zoo there. You could probably put Norman Powell there. Minnesota, Golden State, Memphis. He lists out, some of these different teams. And by the way, this is just in the Western Conference. He's not even talking about the East. We're not putting Boston in there, or New York, or Cleveland, or any of these other teams. The thing that stuck out to me more than anything else, and I think a lot of these teams kind of have some of their flaws. It's not that, everything is perfect. But the thing that stuck out to me more than anything else with these three players and kind of the trio of where they rank in the Western Conference, the fit struggles. The fit struggles. There's so many flaws when you look at these three players together. There was a comment here earlier, and I think somebody was talking about, I'll try to see if I could highlight that comment. I know I put it in here earlier. This one, Smokey had put out there, down about the Lakers, minimal trade value, everything else that he said right here. For me, I understand, and I think the Lakers can kind of get better around the edge, around the margins, and kind of find a way to improve what the roster looks like eventually down the road. My problem as I sit here and I look at those three players and I look at that trio, my issue more than anything else is the fit. The fit. I mean, we spent most of this offseason already saying, guys, can you have Luka and Austin Reaves in your backcourt together and really be taken seriously to go try to win an NBA championship? The rest of the roster has got to be perfect if that's the case. Okay, now mix Bron into it. It was just a couple days ago. Who was saying this? I think it was Danny Green. I think Danny Green was talking about how LeBron's about to be 41. I mean, can you really be depending on LeBron? You're going to have another 50 and change that's going to LeBron. I think to me, the thing that stands out more than anything else, again, I'm not going to try to rank this of where these guys are in the Western Conference and kind of where exactly they rank. But the thing that really stuck out to me with that tweet was these three players don't fit. Let's put it this way. It's not a seamless fit. LeBron can still be great. Luka, we obviously know, hopefully he's in the best shape in his life and he comes in as one of the top 2, 3 players, 5 players in the NBA, and we go from there. And Luka's a Laker for years to come. Austin Reaves has got a lot of great assets that come with what he can bring to the table. But at the end of the day, the thing that stuck out to me most when I looked at that tweet and I looked at those trios, it's like these guys don't gel. You better have, in a perfect world, you had Luka, and then you had a real big that you can depend on, and then you could kind of figure out, okay, whether it's LeBron or Austin Reaves, however you kind of round out the rest of that trio. But I look at those three players, I look at those three guys, and those are some of the things that kind of initially come to my mind. Ranking them in the Western Conference, I was like, why am I going to even rank them? What's the point of ranking these three? It's more about how the pieces just don't fit. But I also understand this, and I'm very, very aware of this. The Lakers knew this wasn't going to fit. They knew that. I mean, the fit of Anthony Davis, Austin Reaves, and LeBron James, that was a fit. That was kind of how they were building their team. They knew that there was going to be some awkwardness once they made the trade for Luka. We saw it in the playoffs. And then we'll probably see it until LeBron retires. And then once LeBron is done and he retires, then you could naturally try to fit in the right three players together to, obviously to build the type of team that you're looking for. Okay, let me look at a couple of the comments here real quick, and then we'll bring Sammy on after that. So let me see here what we got here. Austin and Luka is backcourt is a second round exit at best, or a first round exit. Might not be a second round exit. Second round means they would have lost to the Golden State Warriors. They didn't get to the second round. All good players, but they don't fit. That might be the simple terms here to just watch. All good players. Nobody's saying that the players aren't, obviously phenomenal. What they're saying is these guys don't fit. All right, let's see what else we got here. Of course they don't fit. This team was thrown together by chance with Luka trade. And then that's what I was just kind of mentioning and justifying. That was never the plan, but when you get a chance to get Luka, then you go make it happen. However, okay, now you're in the offseason, and now you're going to have to make big decisions to try to, obviously put together a team that you do feel like can actually make some noise or at least do some type of damage in the playoffs. All right, thank you very much for watching the clip. Just want to give a shout out here to one of our partners, the Wallace Firm. They are official injury attorney of the Sliwa Show and Hoops Talk, the entire channel. If you are ever in a need, and I hope you're not, but some type of serious injury with yourself or a family member of yours, I would like to personally help you by introducing you to the best in the business, Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Also got a URL out here that you can use as well. Just go to wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Thank you for their partnership, and thank you for being a part of the Sliwa Show.